This is the first segment of Dead 54. This is a station about a brother named Charles Scott. His nickname in the penitentiary was Fly Feet. We're going to do this first segment of Dead 54. And the statements that will be coming out this brother's mouth about his life in the penitentiary, about his life period, about a rough life, about a life that you wouldn't want to go through, neither your children or nobody. He's going to tell you about his life and his stories about his childhood coming up. As time go on, you'll know more things about his life. This is Charles Scott. And Charles, when you was coming up as a child, what was it like coming up as a kid? And where was you born at anyway?
I was born in Baltimore City, raised in a religious family.
And religious?
I was never a religious man, but my family was.
Right. So was it rough coming up as a child?
In the part of the city that I grew up in, Eden Street, which is the ghetto part of the town. That's between Drill and the Division Street, if you know that neighborhood.
And the people that you hung around, they was kind of like wild guys or wild people, like.
Come up with a guy named Gilbert Chase. He stayed in jail pretty much all his life.
Right.
You know what I mean? We did things when we was young, stealing, like the average kid that come up in the ghetto.
Right.
Doing different things, going through the market, grabbing fruit or whatever, childish things, foolish things.
Right.
That kids do in the ghetto.
Right. So when was the first time that you was incarcerated or locked up in your life?
I wasn't locked up as a youngin' with Gil and them because I was always a good runner. So I always outran the police. Gil and most of the ones that got caught and went down juvenile and training school and stuff like that. I caught the big one.
Caught the big one.
Yeah.
That's the life in the penitentiary.
That's the life in the penitentiary.
Well, could you elaborate on that? You don't have
Well,
to
I was charged with a crime of murder, which I didn't commit, but I was charged with it and did time for it. Going in the penitentiary was a traumatic experience for me, as you can imagine, going in an environment that's hostile and not a normal place to be. So you meet different guys in there. You had good men in the penitentiary, honorable men, at the time that I went in there. Not like the kids that you got in prison today. You had a different breed of guys that was in penitentiary in the 60s. Serious guys that was like, had principles and morals about themselves. You don't have that today. Most of these in prison now are gang members. They join the gangs so they can become a part of something that's not a positive movement. To lean on people, to push up on people, to take people's stuff. That's what's happening in prison today. This wasn't taking place when I first went in prison. It was a different atmosphere.
Now, Fly Feet, your name, where did you get that name from and who gave you that name?
I got that name from a guy named Lil Jazz. Kind of a militant dude, because I was always trying to escape. And Jazz used to say, man, you got to watch him. He got some fast feet. So the name Fly Feet stuck, because it kept me on lockup because I was always trying to get out. So the name hung in there because of the escapes that I was trying to do.
Now, one of them escapes that you escaped, you got shot by the police.
Yeah, I got shot, that was in 81, I got shot. That wasn't my first escape, but I got shot during a bank robbery 17 times by Baltimore County Police.
And you still have bullets in your body?
Yeah, I got 5 bullets still in my body.
Right.
So
one of your friends was Dennis Wise in the penitentiary.
Yeah, Dennis Wise is a good man. He's one of the good brothers that you'll meet in prison. He's an honorable man.
And he's out today.
Yeah, he's a lot of us came out on a case called, people probably heard about it, called an Unger case, where they used erroneous jury instructions during our trial, where they made the jury the judges of the law and the facts. The jury cannot be the judges of the law. They can be judges of the facts and evidence. But that's what they did, and if the jury can be the judges of the law and the facts, then you don't need no judge or no lawyer.
So how many years did you spend being incarcerated?
I got locked up in '65. I came out in last year.
So that's 54 years.
Pretty much.
So this segment is called Dead 54. So why is it called Dead 54?
Because I guess I did close to 54 years. What else?
And they was dead. Every year was dead to you. Is that what you could say?
Yeah.
Right. So going into the penitentiary, and you seeing young guys come in there, and I heard some stories about you raising some young guys in there, showing them how to do their bit while they was in there.
It was a few kids coming in that was good kids. They had good character and personalities. So I attached myself, or they attached themselves to me, and I gave them what you call the ropes, what they supposed to do and what they shouldn't do in prison. Stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? Don't get nobody away. Mind your business. You know what I mean? Do your bit the right way. You know what I mean? A lot of them took heed. Some of them didn't, but you know what I mean? That's the way of life.
And they got caught up.
Some of them got caught up. Some of them made out all right. You know what I mean?
A lot of them died.
Yeah. Quite a few of them died.
A lot of your friends died.
Yeah.
The people that you wish they was alive today died.
There's some good kids in there that got killed in prison, yeah.
So what would you say about the justice system?
There's no justice for the black race. As you can see, when I first got locked up, it was 3 prisons in the state of Maryland. Penitentiary, the Cut, and the old jail. Now there's over 20-some prisons in the state of Maryland. Yeah. This got to be a conspiracy against us as black people. Because it's the majority of us that's getting locked up. We 12% of the population, but we 80 90% of the prison population. Something's wrong. So the justice system is not working for us. It's working for other people, other nationalities, but it can't be working for us.
Would you say it never worked for the black man?
No. Look at it. It ain't never been fair for us. I'm saying you can tell by the murders that's being committed on us by the police, by the police department. Right. So justice for us is a long ways off, because it ain't nothing fair in this country for us. It has never been.
Right. What would you say about trying to get your stuff back into the courthouse, your paperwork? And you was in a Fed prison also, and trying to get paperwork to you in a Fed prison was kind of difficult.
They don't allow you to mail certain type of paperwork in prison, especially the federal penitentiaries. They got some odd rules that I don't understand, and I don't even think they understand why they implement these rules. Because the paperwork that you were questioning or asking for, trying to get, is important to your case, and they won't allow you to get that kind of stuff in prison, in the federal prison. State prison is a little more lenient than the feds. But
so would you say that they trying to keep you in prison and make it harder for you?
Prison is a booming business in the United States. Everybody's in on it. You know what I mean? You got private companies that cater to these prisons, sells food or etc., commissary and etc. So it's a business now. It didn't used to be a business. It used to be just strictly for punishment. Now it's for punishment and money. Everybody making money. You got certain cities and towns bagging the government to give them prisons in their hometown, the states, different states. So each state in the United States have added 10 to 20 to 30 prisons to their state. What does that tell you? They're not trying to stop crime.
So you say there's a war on the black man?
Oh, it's been a war on the black man. And I mean, look at it. All you got to do is open your eyes and see it for yourself. It's been a war on us. We ain't never had no fair shake. I mean, you got some, compared to the era time that I came up, compared to now, black folks have made some progress in certain areas, in law enforcement and other areas in the society, in corporations and stuff like that. But if you look at the overall picture of the black man, we ain't getting no fair shake, and we steady going down here. We doing it to each other, and the white man is doing it to each other, and we doing it to each other because of our mindset, the damage they did to us, how they got us feeling towards one another.
So would you say that the white man was strategically trying to keep us down by dumping drugs in our neighborhood that we knew nothing about?
I don't know if you're familiar with when Ronald Reagan was president, how his administration invented crack cocaine. Now they tried to deny that, and the crack cocaine was used to finance the Contras war over there in I forgot the name of that country, El Salvador, wherever it was at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Ronald Reagan administration was responsible for inventing that crack or producing that crack in the United States and put it in our community. It started in California with a dude they call Rick Ross or something like that.
Right.
With the cocaine cowboy, the cocaine king or something like that. I don't know much about him, but I know he had double life, but he wound up getting out because he was unfairly convicted.
Right.
So he wound up giving his time back.
So what you say about heroin?
Heroin been in the black community for years. I mean, it's been a part of our community. So drugs has been a part of our community for years, and they've been using drugs to control us, to keep us down. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
It's drugs on almost every corner in Baltimore City.
And we didn't know nothing about drugs until they dumped it into the black man neighborhood or brought it over here from cross seas.
I mean, same way they brought us over here. We didn't know nothing about America or being slaves and none of that. They brought us over here and put us in a trick bag, mentally and physically.
Right.
So it's a lot of things that we are trapped in that we don't know the way out of it because we're not thinking about it like we should be thinking about it and what we got to do to come from underneath this tragedy that we find ourselves in because we doing some serious damage to ourselves as black people. We're killing each other like night going north. It don't make no sense the way the kids are killing each other, man.
Now get back to your first escape in Jessup Cut in 1970, 71?
That was in 71 that I escaped out the cut through a tunnel. It was 7 of us. We escaped out there. I wound up going to New York, doing some things up there, things I shouldn't have been doing, robberies and etc. But but that's all I was thinking about, escaping. I ain't had nothing else on my mind but escape.
Yeah, I heard that some of your buddies say every time the prison locked down, they say, "Oh, there go Fly Feet, he gone again."
Well,
and they locked the prison down.
It was the police job to keep me. It was my job to get away from them. So I figured that was a part of my job, and I tried to perfect that.
So you escaped twice, and you tried to escape 3 times with Francis Byrd.
Me and Francis Byrd did escape, but I broke my leg and ankle, and he broke his jaw and stuff. Jumping out the window, from the window to the wall, we got pretty messed up that day. We got out, but we didn't make it.
Right, so that's 3 escapes.
Yeah.
Out the penitentiary.
No, not out the penitentiary. That was the one escape out the penitentiary.
And 1 escape out the cut.
Yeah.
So with the 1980, you escaped also. Was that out? What was that?
I escaped out in 80, but I wasn't in maximum security prison at this time. I was was on a work release detail and just got tired of the detail and robbed the bank and went to New York.
Right. So you had so did you get any money out the bank when you robbed the bank?
What is the bank? What they keep in the supermarket?
Food.
Okay, what they keep in the bank? What you mean did I get any money out the bank?
Amen. Amen. But you didn't get away at that.
Yeah, I got away.
You got away.
Yeah.
But you had but the police shot you.
Oh well, that's when on the third bank robbery, I got caught up in a shootout with the police.
Oh, the third bank robbery.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all right. Well, today is the first segment of Dead 54. You'll hear some more about Dead 54 from Charles Scott in his next segment, and he'll tell you more about his life on Dead 54. The first segment. Please support this channel. This is the first channel of Dead 54.